What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of Days of Our Lives, a hot mess. Abigail, I did not like that conversation that she had with Jack at all because I feel like Abigail was trying to throw Gabby under the bus. She was trying to blame Gabby for everything about why they're not friends anymore. When she was telling Jack the story, because Jack just wanted to know like what was going on while he was away, like when he was gone. He just wanted to catch up on that and figure out why they weren't friends anymore. So Abigail sitting there talking about, oh, Gabby, she conveniently fell in love with Chad and try to make it seem like that's why they not friends no more. No. And I'm glad Jack realized that it was more to it than just that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was way more to it than just that. Because Abigail, I felt like in the beginning half of that conversation, she was leaving out a lot of details. A lot of details. Like, first of all, you did not tell that man how your alter ego killed Andre. At first, she didn't tell him. Um, Her alter ego killed Andre and let Gabby take the fall for it. Gabby went to prison for a murder she did not commit. Gabby was almost murdered in prison. She was almost killed. She was attacked in prison. She now can no longer have children. She lost out on time with her daughter. And by the time she did get out of prison, her daughter at the time didn't want nothing to do with her. Like her daughter wanted nothing to do with her. Like her daughter was angry with her. And that was all Abigail's fault. But Abigail didn't bring none of that up at first with Jack until she started revealing some of that to him. And that's when Jack started realizing this is why y'all not friends. So at the end of the day, Abigail could blame Gabby all she want, but you played a huge part in it too. And I know a lot of it wasn't Abigail's fault per se. It was her alter's fault. But don't act like this was all on Gabby. Like, I see why Gabby is bitter and angry and stuff like that. I totally see why. Gabby lost a lot. And then, they were talking about her and Chad about how she trusts Chad and, she trusts him completely. And, then she said her and Chad been through more than most couples. No, y'all haven't. Listen, Abigail and Chad has been through some things. I'm not going to lie and say they haven't, but you said more than most couples? Your mama and daddy done been through some shit in their day. Bo and Hope done been through some shit in their day. John and Marlena have been through some things in their day. All these older couples been through some stuff in their heyday, even now. So don't sit there and try to say you and Chad done been through more than most couples. No, y'all haven't. Y'all haven't even been on this earth as long as those couples have been. So you haven't even been through everything. Not even half of what these people been through. So don't even try to sit there and tell that lie. Like Abigail, she just think that her and Chad's stuff don't stink. Like that's the problem with her. Like Abigail just annoyed me sometimes. So anyway, moving on from that, you know, um, Rafe is at his breaking point with Gabby. Like she comes storming into the police station, coming to talk to Rafe because she need his help or whatever. Gabby just need to get her life together. Seriously. Like Rafe is just completely over Gabby at this point. Like he's sick of her shenanigans. Like every time she does something illegal, she expects Rafe to help her. And I don't blame Rafe for ripping into her. Like he's sick of this. And I like Gabby, but at the end of the day, she do need to let this whole revenge thing go. Every time she does something to Chad and Abby, they strike back. They do something, she does something. They do something, she does something. It's a continued cycle. Like Gabby is at a point right now where she can shut that down. Yeah, they took Demira away from you, but you can't blame Chad and Abigail for Chad becoming CEO of Demira. That was the board of directors' decision. Now, as far as Gabby Chic, I totally understand why she's pissed about that because that's her brand. That's a brand that she built. You know what I mean? Like she created that. And I do feel like, I understand Chad, not wanting to give that to her, but at the same time, he could have sold it to her because at the end of the day, it's a business. You can't just hand somebody their business back. You know what I mean? Especially a business that's making them money. Like I would have had her buy it back from me, but to sit there and deny her company, I wouldn't have done that. So I could see why she's pissed. Like she probably would have let this whole thing go if they would have just gave her Gabby Chic back. But since they're not doing that, of course she's going to continue to want revenge on them. But Rafe is over it. He's had enough because he feels like he always sticks his neck out for her. He puts his job in the line all the time just to bend the rules for her. And he feels like he can't do that now. And I feel like that was the cop in him talking. But when Chad came up in there, I felt like it was the brother in Rafe talking to Chad, trying to defend his sister. Um, I don't understand why Gabby was so shocked that Rafe wasn't going to help her. Like, he constantly helps you. He always helps you. And where does that get him? With egg on his face every time he helps you. He gets the short end of the stick every time he puts his neck out for her. And then she turns around and does something stupid again. So I don't blame him for being tired of it. Plus, he has this custody stuff coming up. Now is not the time for him to be bending the rules for her. Because if that gets out, it's going to mess up his custody. So Chad comes up in there with the test results or whatever, accusing Gabby of drugging Abigail. And Rafe was like, what makes you think she did it? Basically, what makes Chad think she did it is because of past behavior. Plus, she did recently threaten to get revenge on him. So, of course, that's why he believes she did it. And Rafe was like, well, you ain't got no proof. So he shows him the test results. In my opinion, yes, that's proof that Abigail is being drugged. But the test results don't prove who did it. That's the only thing. You can't prove that Gabby did that. For me, this time around, I don't think Gabby did it. Would I put it past her to do something like that? Of course not. But do I think she did? I don't know. This time she may not have done it. It could have been somebody else doing it. You never know. But of course, I don't blame Chad for, thinking that Gabby did it. I mean, she did recently threaten y'all. Y'all took the job away from her, took Gabby Sheik from her. So of course, you would think that she did it, of course, but it could be somebody else. It definitely could be. Gabby was basically sitting there with that little smirk on her damn face. I'm like, Gabby, go sit down. Like, and Chad, of course, is pissed. So he goes back and, back to where Jack and, Abigail are back in her room or whatever. And he basically told them, like, if the cops ain't gonna do nothing about it, I'm gonna have to do something about Gabby. Well, I mean, legally, there's not much that the cops can do. All they can do is investigate. That's all they can do and try to figure out who did it. That's the best they can do because they don't have any proof. It's not that the cops don't want to lock Gabby up for doing it if she did it, because Rafe more than likely would throw the cuffs on her. But you have no physical proof that Gabby did it. All you have is accusation. That's all you have. It's, opinions. That's it. You have no facts. So cops can't arrest people based off of that. You got to have physical proof that she drugged her, in which you have none. Because Rafe was basically asking Gabby to swear on her daughter's life that she didn't drug Abigail. And Gabby was offended by that and pissed that he would even ask her to do that. See, that's why a part of me feel like she lying. Because if you was telling the truth, you should have easily just sworn in your daughter's life that you didn't do it. That's why a part of me feel like, yeah, you probably did it. Like, Gabby, come on now. Just do what they're asking you to do. Now, if you swear on your daughter's life, Rafe would have believed you. He would have believed that you didn't do it. But I wouldn't put nothing past her because she crazy like that. And then she just kept calling Abigail all type of nutcases. Yo, I'm loving it. I really am. Gabby just has no chill button. But I am kind of over this little feud between her, Chad, and Abigail. Like, it's getting rather annoying. Like, it's always tit for tat with them. So now they just need to figure out, like, who's doing this. So anyway, moving on from that. So Evan finally tells Zoe what his big secret is with Orpheus. Even though we don't know, the audience don't know. I want to know what this damn secret is. Like, what did Orpheus have him do? Because Zoe was basically telling him whatever he did, he didn't have to do it. And he was basically saying, he had no choice. He had a choice, but Orpheus was pressuring him to do it. And he was in a bad place mentally. So, mind wise, he was just not in a good place. And so he just did whatever Orpheus wanted him to do. And he just hopes that Zoe can keep her mouth shut, because if Orpheus finds out that he told Zoe, then he feels like his dad is going to turn on him and not help him with these murder charges. And he knows, how his father is. Like, he knows how Orpheus is when he's your enemy. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want Orpheus, you don't want to be on his bad side. So, he's kind of begging his sister just to keep her mouth shut about it. And of course, that's when Orpheus pops up from behind him, trying, see if Zoe was trying to get Evan to, spill the beans to her or whatever. But she just told Orpheus she had to go to court or whatever. Um, to deal with this whole petition and restraining order and whatever. So she ends up going to Rafe and letting him know that the judge tossed out the restraining order. So right now, everything is going in Zoe's favor. Everything's going in her favor. It's going in Evan's favor right now. Um, like, first, she got the judge to put a hold on the adoption so that way they can go to court for custody. Now, she got the restraining order that Rafe put out. She got that tossed out. So everything's going in her favor right now. Rafe is pissed because this is like the second round that he's lost. Like, lost the first round, you lost the second round. It's like, Rafe is just, but he's still holding out hope that he's going to win this custody when it's all said and done. So far, he lost a couple battles, but he still feel like he's going to win the war. But Zoe put him on notice. She was like, nope, I'm going to continue to win. You're not going to win. That's my nephew. And she told him, now that the restraining order is tossed out, we're going to figure out visitation later, so they can see her nephew. So, of course, Rafe is pissed. So, anyway, moving on from that. John and Marlena were not, here for Orpheus and his games. Orpheus basically wants them to help each other. Like, you wash my back, I wash yours. Well, in other words, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So basically, he's telling John that he can make a phone call and get Brady out of jail by today, tomorrow, whatever. And John was like, okay, if you could do that for my son, why you're not doing that for your own son? But like Orpheus said, though, it's different because he feels like his son's case is a bit different. He feels like he got to do a little bit more to help Evan than what they can do for Brady, because he feels like he can do more for Brady. But I'm like, what connections do Orpheus have to where he can get Brady out in a day? Like, what makes you think you can do that? But honestly, I can't wait until John and them figure out that Kristen is the one who stabbed Victor. Because I already know John and Marlena are going to be pissed that Brady would take the fall for that chick. Because they don't like her. But of course, if Orpheus helps them, they need to help him. John, and that's what John wants to know. So if he takes Orpheus up on this deal, what the hell does Orpheus want from John and Marlena in return? If I was John, I wouldn't trust him. I'm just saying, because Orpheus. It's always going to come with some type of strings attached. But this shall be interesting to see what he wants from them. And I really want to know what the hell this secret is and what he had Evan do. That's what I want to know. So anyway, moving on from that. So Kayla was basically trying to help Steve get his eye patch back on or whatever after telling him basically that his eye, he's going to have to go back to wearing the patch again. So, Steve tried to, move on by telling her, nah, I could do it myself, or I could get the nurse, put the eye drops in and put the patch on. Basically, he was like, he could get the the nurse to do it or whatever, so that way she ain't got to do it. But she basically told him she wanted to do it. I definitely, like I said yesterday, I feel like Kayla and Steve are definitely in game, especially with the way that they were today. She's still in love. She's still in love. They're definitely getting back together. At some point. But I feel like there's going to be a couple obstacles before that happens, of course. The writers ain't going to make it too easy for them to get back together. Not at all. So basically, once he got discharged, she was trying to ask Steve, like, okay, where you going to stay? Because the kids want to know where you going to be staying at or whatever. And he basically told her that Hope offered for him to stay at her place. Kayla was like, what? Kayla had that what the fuck look on her face, like, really? You gonna go stay at Hope's? I mean, where else he gonna stay? Ain't nobody else trying to take him in, so what you gonna do? Go to the motel? They ain't comfortable. I'm just saying. So anyway, when Gabby went to the Horton Town Square, she ended up seeing Jake, aka Stefan, or the doppelganger, in the front of her store. I was like, oh shoot. I can't wait to see them scenes between her and Jake. I mean, I know that, Brandon Barrage said in the interview that the writers basically called, producers called him back to the show because they felt like they made a mistake with writing the Stefan character out, killing him off or whatever, so they want to bring him back. I don't know if they're gonna bring him back as Stefan or not. Maybe he got amnesia. I don't know. I kind of hope not, because I'm so sick of the Back from the Dead storylines. Like, for me, once you kill somebody right now, you just need to let them be dead. Because Days does Back from the Dead like it ain't no joke. Like, it's going out of style. Like, they might as well just let Jake be a whole new character at this point. Like, you might as well. Like, just let him be somebody new. Because all of that Back from the Dead stuff is just... they need to take a break from that right now. Like, it's too much Back from the Dead. Like, stop it. So anyway, I enjoyed this episode. This was a pretty good episode. Hit the comment section and let me know what y'all thought. And I will see y'all all later. Peace.